Hello, I'm Derek Wilcox. What makes Japanese Wagyu so different? It's not just the breeds and the genetics, but really the incredible dedication, craftsmanship, and sheer time that goes into producing Japanese Wagyu. Today I'm making roast beef using Japanese Wagyu eye of round. Eye of round is from the bottom round or hindquarters. It has some marbling, a nice fat cap, and is tender when cooked the right way. It's considered an offcut, which just means that it's not from the ribeye, strip loin, or tenderloin, which are the traditional high-end steak cuts. For special occasions, you could use a Japanese Wagyu ribeye, which would be just off the charts, luxurious and decadent. But for everyday roast beef, eye of round is far more affordable. And also with Japanese Wagyu, even the eye of round is really nicely marbled. You can see the difference here when compared to a Black Angus eye of round, which is also excellent beef, but the marbling is completely different. A lot of butchers carry Japanese Wagyu are starting to offer offcuts like eye of round, so you should be able to at least order it if you can't find it locally. There are a few different ways to cook roast beef. Classically, it's cooked in an oven, but lately sous vide cooking has become popular. I'm going to show you how to do it both ways. Let's start with the classic way, dry in the oven. Now, an important thing with Japanese Wagyu is its subtle, almost coconutty, sweet aroma and taste that comes from its fat and how it's raised. I don't want to cover that up. So this recipe uses only sea salt. The ingredients are beef, salt, heat, and thyme, not even any pepper. Please use a good sea salt. It makes a huge difference in such a simple recipe. First, salt the eye of round the night before you want to roast it. Then keep it on a rack in a tray, uncovered in the fridge, so that the meat will dry all around. That will help create a good crust when we roast it in the oven. Usually when you cook eye of round, you have to cook it at a low temperature for a long time to make it tender, but with Japanese Wagyu, you can roast it the same way you would a ribeye at high temperature, and you get great results as well as a beautiful crust. That's a nice crust. The best thing about sous vide is it's foolproof. You just set it and forget it. Another advantage is that it shrinks less than in the oven, so it yields more roast beef, which is always a good thing. So you need to cook it in a flavorful liquid, not just salt, to get the best result. We're going to make a simple tare or sauce from the sous vide cooking liquid. Slice the beef thin. Lay the slices over a hot bowl of Japanese rice. The heat of the rice softens the beef and brings out its aroma. Yeah, of course, Japanese rice, Japanese Wagyu, great combination. The rice really shows off the flavor of the meat, and the warmth kind of tenderizes the meat, especially the fat. The tare just brings it all together, and the radish sprouts provide a nice contrast. Make a jus, again using the sous vide cooking liquid along with some beef bone broth. This is going to have triple umami from the broth, from the soy sauce in the liquid, and from the beef juices itself. Put the sandwich together. I'm adding a little horseradish. Always serve more jus on the side for more dipping. Oh, yeah. Japanese Wagyu French dip is a very good thing. Saute red onion in the beef fat and add red wine vinegar and good mustard. Adjust the seasoning with salt and pepper and toss with your salad. I'm using the fat from the oven roasted beef for the dressing. Japanese Wagyu fat is less saturated than most red meats. There's a classic French salad that's made from lardons or bacon. That's kind of like this, but because the fat from the Wagyu melts in your mouth so easily, this doesn't feel heavy at all. One of the things I love about Japanese Wagyu is discovery. We've all eaten beef. It's familiar to us, but Japanese Wagyu is something very different. Its texture, its flavor, its aroma, how it cooks, how it feels are all different from what we're used to, but it's still beef and so satisfying. I think the craftsmanship and the passion that goes into Japanese Wagyu is even more apparent with these so-called offcuts, and they're much more economical. If you want to know more about Japanese Wagyu, head on over virtually to the House of Japanese Wagyu, which is chock full of information about Wagyu, such as partner restaurants, butchers, e-commerce destinations where you can buy Japanese Wagyu.